Good morning and Merry Christmas. I'm George Mallet, and I don't know about you, but I can't think of a better way to spend my holiday than drinking and talking gambling with fellow degenerates like Jason Hammer and Scott Long. We've got a full day of football ahead. We're about to break down Colts versus Cardinals and much more right here on All Indiana Bets.
My name is Jason Hammer, and let's be honest, if this crew were the cast of Christmas Vacation, I think we all know who the Cousin Eddie would be right here. To answer your questions, yes, my RV is parked outside, and it's full.
This is Scott Long, and how can you top those first two greetings? I will just tell you right now, take a little time, watch us, know how to spend your money, because it's an important day to do well on your bets. Your kids are at home. You need to do and make a good example right here, right now. Go!
Let's do it! Here we go!
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook and LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. This is All Indiana Bets. Thanks for spending some of your holiday with us. Gentlemen, good to be with both of you again today. Well, Colts fans are hoping that their favorite team is just going to rock and win against a team that we thought was good a minute ago, but we're not so sure anymore.
Arizona is good, but man, are they beat up. Yeah. That's going to be the key today. Now, full disclosure, we are recording this a little bit early. Truth be told, right now, by the time you're watching this, I'm in my living room having my fourth cup of eggnog with Evan Williams poured about 75% into it. So, with that being said, it sounds like Arizona's going to be beat up, and if that's the case, Scott, I think that plays in favor of the Colts.
We talked about this last week when the look-ahead line was +4. Now it's +1. I cannot give an official pick on this game because I'm a big fan of betting teams after they have a total train wreck. This team lost to the Lions last week, the Cardinals. I was on actually the Lions. It was a long shot once again.
It was a big number.
It was a big number, and what I would just share with you on this is that I'm leaning Colts because I think the weakness of the Cardinals is the run game. I hope that we stay in that because as we saw last week with Wentz against the Patriots, he was kind of the weak spot. I hope that he kind of finds himself again, but ultimately, this is about Jonathan Taylor. This is about Kyler Murray not 100%, and this is about Hopkins being out for the season.
That's key. Hopkins is gone, and then the replacements you've got lined up. Rondell Moore, the Purdue star, beat up ankle. Yes. Don't know if he's going to go. Your running back, James Conner, beat up ankle. Don't know if he's going to go.
Right.
As good as Kyler Murray is, and the dude is a cheat code once he gets outside the pocket, he's got to give the football to somebody. Who's it going to be?
All right. And Hammer, you've got a prop bet today, correct?
This is one that I dig a lot. So let's go back to that Lions game that Scott won last week. Yeah. The Lions dominated the Cardinals in every facet of the game. You look at that final score, and that even really wasn't close to how bad the Cardinals dominated. The backup running back for the Lions had 112 yards against the Cardinals. The backup running back. Yeah. So if I'm Jonathan Taylor, and if I'm an Indianapolis Colts offensive lineman, I look at this as, okay, the nation's watching. Prime time, everybody's with their family, everybody's watching the game. This is where you give your running back the ball. Jonathan Taylor, over under 106 yards. I think Jonathan Taylor's better just a little bit than the backup running back of the Lions. Give me JT all day, over 106 yards. This is going to be like a trophy game, not only for Jonathan Taylor to kind of get that MVP campaign finalized, but for the offensive linemen too. They know if they put on a great show in front of the nation, that means that their time has arrived. Hard Knocks is going to dig it. Everybody's going to be singing their praises. Jonathan Taylor over 106 yards rushing.
Hammer, can I ask you a second? You bring up Hard Knocks. How do you feel that that has impacted the team? Because truthfully, the Colts have been playing their best since that show came on. Most teams go down the tubes after they've been on that, but somehow this team it's just filled with great guys. It's like there's not one jerk on the whole team that you can point to. The Colts are looking like, I feel like their confidence has been built. They can't say, oh, no one sees us, we're in Indianapolis. I think the whole thing has kind of built everything towards a crescendo. I can't wait to watch next week when I see what happened on the field, because that Patriots show yesterday, if you have not seen Hard Knocks and the Patriots episode, it's spectacular seeing the enthusiasm of the team. This is a team. And I can't say that that's always been the case in the past. So I would lean towards the Colts today, but I am loving them for the playoffs.
Now, they've also got some dudes, too, right? Everybody can get along, and that's great. But if you go out and get beat by 35,
you're right.
It doesn't matter. You've got 6, 7 Pro Bowlers on this squad.
That's true.
All right, so we're going to get to official picks today?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Who's going to go first here? Who wants to volunteer as tribute?
Hammer,
I'll go first.
You go first, Hammer.
I like the under in this game. The reason this isn't an official pick for the Colts for me, there's just something about the home team on an awkward holiday. It kind of scares me just a little bit, but the over-under set at 49 here. Again, we anticipate the Cardinals to be banged up and beat up. We know what the Colts want to do. Pound the ball on the ground. When you do that, you burn the clock. And let's not kid ourselves. Carson Wentz has not been real sharp lately with the passing game. So you add all these things up, this smells like an under to me. 49 points, take the under. That is my first official pick today.
All right, Scott Long, the stage is yours.
Now, I'm a comedian, so that felt really good, George.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Long.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like I got Michael Buffer, and not even the hair. And by the way, my son, I'm like, what'd you think of the show? He's like, that guy with you's got great hair.
He wasn't talking about me.
And he wasn't talking about the two of us. So, still not really loving you, George, over that. My son loves your hair far better than anything else on this show. Here's what I would share. Wisconsin, quickly. This is as much of a fade of Arizona State as anything else. This is a fade of the Pac-12. Wisconsin really started amping up after about midway point of the year. They started scoring. Their defense is superior. Arizona State's got lots of problems with players that are opting out or they're transferring. I really think Wisconsin's going to come into this, win by about 10 or 14. We're going to talk about more bowls later, and there's a certain way to do bowl games. Let's hope that we have the answers for you.
All right, we've got 2 picks down, still plenty more to come. If you want to get a head start on locking these plays in, go to our website right now. Hammer and Scott's picks are already posted. All you have to do is scan that little QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen and click on the link to today's show.
Merry Christmas. It's right there for you.
Yes.
Hey, and the Colts aren't the only team in action today. The Fighting Ball State Cardinals will try for their second straight bowl win later this afternoon. Can the Cardinals win outright as underdogs? The guys will answer that question. Plus, we'll look ahead to Purdue's matchup with Tennessee later this week. That's all coming up next on All Indiana Bets.
All Indiana Bets is presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
And welcome back. As far as college football is concerned, there is only one bowl game on the schedule today. Ball State and Georgia State are set to do battle in the Camellia Bowl down in Montgomery, Alabama. The Cardinals are 6-point underdogs. Hammer, the last time we saw them in a bowl game, they were dogs, and then they won.
They won outright.
Yeah.
Yes. What I like about the Ball State football program is under the current leadership, they've gotten better as the year goes on. But I don't like what I've seen from the Mid-American Conference this year in bowl games. The MAC has been a train wreck.
No.
The good news is they got a lot of teams in bowl games. The bad news is they pretty much all lost.
Yeah.
Now look, I'm a man that's had some good times at Ball State. I've been to the Chug. I was there for the opening of when Scotty's was there. I didn't go to class for 3 days due to the opening of Scotty's. I've been to headliners. I've slipped on the floor there, almost killed myself. I've had good times at Ball State. But I can't go with Ball State here. I just can't. I'm seeing what's happening with the MAC, and I'm sorry, Georgia State is the play here. The last time I remember Ball State going down to Alabama for a bowl game, it didn't go well for the Cardinals there. Unfortunately, I got to go against my guys. I don't think it goes well here. I got Georgia State -6.
All right, Scott, how do you see this one?
It's always nerve-wracking when Hammer and I put our minds together and see a vision of the same game, but he hits a lot of the same points. I would just explain, you know that there's going to be no Cardinal fans there. Who's going to go into the middle of Alabama on Christmas at a bowl game to play Georgia State, which people don't even know where? Georgia State's pretty close. They'll have some fans, but the bigger issue is the strengths and weaknesses do not match up for the Cardinals. Georgia State has 2 800 rushers on their team. The weakness of the Cardinals is rush defense. The one thing that Georgia State gives up a lot of is the deep ball. Last year, Ball State did a nice job of that. They are not the same team this year. Drew Plitt, I don't think he's had the same receivers. Whatever's not been going on has not been going on. There was one big game that Ball State played this year that they played really well. They've not been consistent. Better players with Georgia State, more of a reason to play, not a long trip. It's Christmas. Sorry, Cardinal alums, got to go with Georgia State.
Well, I thought we were all on the same page, but I actually thought Georgia State was a Division I AA school. Or maybe that's Georgia Southern, I don't know. Anyway, meantime, we are now just 5 days away from Purdue taking the field in Nashville. The Boilermakers set to take on Tennessee in the Music City Bowl Thursday. Purdue continues to hover around +4.5. Hammer, you've already gone on the record about this one. Why do you like the Volunteers here?
Because all the momentum is with Tennessee in this game. When this line first came out, I thought for sure the odds makers were going to take this thing a little bit higher. We kind of thought that Purdue would be without the best player offensively and the best player defensively. Both have declared for the NFL draft. That's the case. Tennessee, on the other hand, they're bringing everybody back. They're getting the band back together, and this is a de facto home game for a program that had a great signing day on recruiting. There's a lot of momentum building for the program. I love Tennessee in this spot here. I'm surprised this isn't at 6. I jumped on it early because I thought it would get to 6, 6.5, or maybe 7.
Scott, what say you?
I'm not as excited about the game because I feel like Purdue is probably going to be more motivated than Tennessee. I just feel like Tennessee's looking at this like their 2 best players of Purdue are gone, and they are game changer type players. I'm looking at the total on this game as the best play. I know Tennessee's offense is one of the top 10 or 15 in the whole country. Purdue without Karlaftis, not being able to put pressure on the quarterback, I am not confident on that. But I do think Jeff Brom will have an offensive game plan. Tennessee's defense is not strong. I see this as maybe like a 41-35 game or something in that neighborhood. Play the over.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, gentlemen. When we continue, the college football playoff kicks off Friday. Who will advance to play for the national championship here in Indianapolis? More importantly, which teams will cover the spread on New Year's Eve? We'll discuss next on All Indiana Bets. Welcome back. Well, normally we call this segment Feeling It or Fading It. But since it is Christmas, we're going to switch things up a bit and play a little game called Gift or Gag.
Oh, I see what we did there.
Yeah.
Look at this holly jolly group of you-know-whats.
I'm just visualizing women watching this show and going, oh, 3 guys, not surprising. One dude holding a remote in his hand. There we go. Yeah. And they're going click. And their husband's like, watch this. They drink later on. It'll all turn out well. That's the message of Christmas. Go ahead,
Minutes
George.
away from Scott being in his underpants just on this show.
Let's get through the rules. The rules are pretty much the same. I'm going to give you the guys odds on a bet, and if they like it, they will say gift. If they don't, they will say gag. You guys ready to talk about the college football playoff?
Oh, I love it. Let's get into it. Let's dive head first.
All right, the first semifinal on Friday will feature #1 Alabama and 4th-ranked Cincinnati squaring off in the Cotton Bowl. The defending national champion Crimson Tide, a heavy 13.5-point favorite. Hammer, we're going to start with you. Is that too many points to give Cincinnati? I think they're pretty good.
This is a gag for me. And maybe I'm the horrible person. I know this is Christmas.
Usually you are.
We should be feeling, the spirit of the season coursing through our veins. But there's a part of me that wants Nick Saban to beat these guys by 50. Like, I can't be the only one that feels like there are other teams really better than Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati's unbeaten. They beat Notre Dame. They belong. I'm not saying they belong, but are they one of the 4 best teams in the country? Really? No. So, as much as it kills me, as being a Tennessee fan, to root for Nick Saban here, there's a part of me that wants to see Darth Vader do that little thing where he closes his fist and the air gets sucked out of somebody. I want that to be the Cincinnati fan base because I'm tired of their mouth. I'm tired of hearing that they belong. I want Bama to beat them by 75.
Okay, don't put this in the tape machine because I want to do the Cincinnati market next year. And I've already.
In that case, Skyline Chili is really good.
I don't like that. I have a hard time with it. I would, George, I know you're going to come to me on this one. I don't have strong feelings about this, but I would definitely lean Hammer's way on Alabama. The thing that happens is that Cincinnati spent a lot of weeks, kind of like what's happened with Gonzaga a lot. They start off the year well, they play some tough teams. By the end of the year, they're playing Tulsa, they're playing Tulane, they're having a hard time motivating themselves. They've never been on this stage. The Alabama kids, their whole life, they have been waiting for this moment. The Cincinnati kids are going to show up and go, this is awesome. We were 3 stars. We're playing 5 stars. Saban will be cocky over there drinking Dr. Peppers, He'll be saying, look at my talent. And we saw Alabama turn it on against Georgia. And I felt like after that Auburn game where Saban barely got through it, and he had a big smile and he was super happy because I think he could see the future. And it was a future of, I own Georgia, I'm gonna play Cincinnati. As long as I don't play Michigan, I have no doubt I'll win this whole thing. So that's where I see Alabama.
All right. Well, the second semifinal matchup takes us down to Miami for the Orange Bowl, and that's where number 2 Georgia will take on 3rd-ranked Michigan with a spot in the national title game on the line. Much like Cincinnati, Michigan is making its first ever appearance in this playoff. Much like the Bearcats, the Wolverines are big underdogs. The Bulldogs are laying 8 points in this game. So, Scott, we'll start with you. Is 8 points too many on this one?
This is the gift, okay? Georgia is not an offensive juggernaut. They barely beat Clemson. They played a lot of second-rate SEC teams, and they played them well. We saw what happened against Alabama. I don't know if Georgia's going to lose the game, but 8 points against a really strong Michigan team who is pumped, and they've got players too. It's an close to equal talent. I can't say that word. I need to get a drink. Hammer, finish, go with Michigan.
Man, I got to agree with the representative of Iowa here. I think this is going to be a close game, and I think both teams want to run the football. So again, we kind of talked about this with the Colts in Arizona in the NFL game. When teams run the football, the clock churns. And if it's a close game with the clock ticking, I want the team that's getting more than a touchdown. Both teams have really good running games. I think Georgia wants to keep the ball out of the hands of their quarterback. As crazy as that is, when he throws the ball, they lose, they make mistakes. We saw that against Alabama. I like Michigan getting the 8 here. This is a gift.
All right. Of course, the winner of those 2 games will square off in the national title in Indianapolis. That's January 10th. Don't forget, Wish TV is the official local broadcast partner of the College Football Playoff Host Committee. So we will have you covered on air and online leading up to the big game. All right, we've all waited long enough. Is it time to give the people what they want?
It is.
Long's long shot coming up next only on
Here we go.
Indiana Bets.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
And it's the segment that's been making money pretty much since the earth cooled now. Every week on this show, Scott Long gives you a surefire underdog.
I do.
And that's why we call it his long shot. Scott, Take it away.
Last show for the NFL, I got back on my streak. I'm 8-1 in the NFL. So watch on Sunday and see what I'm doing. Colleges have been hot as well. I put these on. This is the for the viewer that this is a winner when these come on. Iowa State +1. I've been fading Clemson all year, Hammer. You know that. I've made a lot of money on that. The story with Clemson is they've got not only a lot of players that don't care at all about this bowl game. They thought they were going to be playing in the national championship. This is a letdown game for them. Then you throw in that they've lost their offensive coordinator and they lost their defensive coordinator. Dabo's a really good coach, but he's your Urban Meyer type coach where he likes to let his offense coordinators and defense coordinators do their thing. This is a mystery of how they're going to play. Iowa State did lose Breece Hall, probably one of the top 3 or 4 running backs in college football this year. But I see Iowa State, somehow Matt Campbell has stayed at Iowa State. Shocker. Everybody thought he was going to go to USC or LSU or something. I think there's going to be a big turnout by the Cyclones. +1, please. They should be a 5-6 point favorite in this game.
All right, there's no degenerate special today because we don't have college basketball.
Not enough games on the docket today. There's no degenerates in action.
Hey, can I throw this out? If you've missed the degenerate special, watch Bad Santa later on today.
Yes.
That is the show that I feel like the Christmas special that fits Hammer. Just visualize Hammer as Billy Bob Thornton.
That's a guy that would bet on the Summit League. Absolutely.
So what, you do have a pick, though, for us.
I do, and we're going to do a bowl game here. How about Virginia and SMU? Look at this total, 71.5. You would think that Heisman Trophy winning Vinny Testaverde was taking on Heisman Trophy winner Bo Jackson in this case. Herschel Walker, no, this is too high. Look, both offenses are good. I get that. But let's not overreact. And if you're one of these analytics guys, I don't want to say nerds, because maybe that's disrespectful. But an analytics nerd, 71.5. Games that have had totals of over 70 this year, the majority, super majority, have gone under. Very rarely do lines with 70 plus live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Bowl game, you never know what can go down. You never know who's gonna scrap at the last minute in these crazy COVID times that we live in. The smart play is on the under here. This isn't like we've got the best teams in the world going at it. You just need 1 or 2 turnovers, 1 or 2 punts. Your toes are tapping. We're riding the under here.
Not for nothing, but that sounded like analytics to this reporter.
I'm not going to call you a nerd, but
All right.
if the shoe fits.
It is halftime for us. We need to get to the bar to get hydrated. You stay right there, though. Our best bets are next.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
Merry Christmas to George. Merry Christmas to Scott.
Hammer, we're still on the air.
Yep.
Christmas, the bet. We've already covered the over on that.
A little cup of holiday cheer from our good friends at Evan Williams
Delish.
here.
Yes, needless to say, that's Hammer and Long. I'm George Mallet. Thanks for sticking around on this Christmas morning. And while you are here, let's make you some more money.
Yes.
These are our best bets brought to you by the aforementioned Evan Williams Bourbon. Hammer, we'll have you go first, and you're going to go back to the NFL here.
This is the Evan Williams Honey, and this is fantastic.
Top
by
3 of
way.
the year.
This
Top 3.
is fantastic.
It is.
All right, look, I understand. Your house probably is a mess right now. You got wrapping paper all over the place, toys all over the place. You're probably thinking to yourself, I made it. Now I gotta pay off some bills. Here's how you do it. You put a lot of money on the Green Bay Packers. I got this line at 7.5. I would take this, honestly, up to 9. I feel like the Packers are going to have their way with the Cleveland Browns. Listen, with all due respect to Jonathan Taylor, who I have absolutely been riding the coattails on all year long. I'm a card-carrying member of his fan club. The hottest player in the league is Aaron Rodgers. Since he's came back from that bizarre COVID situation where everybody melted down, he's been a machine. That continues, Packers roll.
All right. Time for Scott's best bet, and that involves college again.
Yeah, you know, when you pick bowl games, you got to be really careful. It's not like the regular season. They've had some weeks off. Some things change. A lot of players have left. Coaches leave. This is a circumstance where Boston College got their best player healthy. Jurkovic, their quarterback, started off the year great. He played really well last year. Boston College has been up and down this year, but he is fully healthy. They have the superior athletes. They have the superior coaching. You're only talking 3 points in this circumstance. I love Boston College against East Carolina in this matchup. This will make you actually watch the game if you put enough money on it. Put some real money on it. Steal some money, I don't know, from your kid's stocking. Whatever you need to do to, it's called an investment. Tell your kids it's an investment. Give them some of that money back, maybe an extra couple bucks. That's my advice.
I'm waiting for all the complaint emails to come in. The 3 guys that were drinking on TV told me to steal.
Hey, still to come, the Cash Man has caught fire once again. 4-0 on his last 4 picks here on All Indiana Bets. He'll join producer Pete in the Wise Guys segment. We'll just continue sipping bourbon here.
Oh, this is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Christmas gift to you. No, it is not me wearing this Santa hat, although I do think I look pretty darn good in this Santa hat, if I do say so myself. Our Christmas gift to you is the man to my right in these boxes. His name is Alan Cashman. We call him the Cash Man, and he's on a heater again, folks. 4 in a row here on All Indiana Bets. He gave you a winner in bowl season last week as far as college football goes, and we are going back to the bowl games this week. Cashman, Merry Christmas to you and your family. What's the play?
Thanks, Peter. We're going to go with Houston +3 in the Birmingham Bowl. Now, that's on Tuesday. Now, we're going to wait until Tuesday to make the play because of all the COVID situation going around. We don't want to make a bet and then find out that Houston's losing some players here. But Auburn has already lost 6 players in the transfer portal, including their quarterback, Bo Nix. They're also going to be without star cornerback Roger McQuarrie and starting linebacker Zacoby McClain. Let's wait till Tuesday. If we can get that +3 or at 2.5 betted up to 3, let's do that. But I feel like given all the adversity for Auburn right now, I feel like Houston probably should have been a favorite in this game.
All right, there you go. Take the man's advice. Play Houston +3, and then while you're at it, go buy all your loved ones a subscription to the CashmanWins.com for Christmas. There is no better gift. Am I right, Cashman?
That's right. Go to the CashmanWins.com. Everything I send to my clients are $1 a week, 1 year, $52. Include any special information you'd like me to have if it is a gift subscription, and I'll get you taken care of.
All right, my man. Can't thank you enough. Again, Merry Christmas to you and yours, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Merry Christmas, Peter. Thank you.
All right, our thanks to producer Peter and
George,
Cashman.
didn't that make you feel Christmassy there, seeing the Cashman and Ralphie from A Christmas Story together? I was glad he could get his little winter coat on. That was nice.
Yes, it was very festive.
I thought we had decided that Peter was Herbie from...
He's many things, and they're all great.
All right, time for our last picks. Hammer, you are up.
All right, so I'm told we got to go to this camera, so I'm totally going to do a Zoolander. Are you ready? I like Green Bay. They're going to put up a big number today. They're going to put up at least 28, possibly 30 over on the Packer total.
All right, Scott, what do you got?
Wrong camera.
No, they didn't show me. They're tied up. Are we going to do the thing? Okay, that's fine. Oh my gosh, here I am. I'm behind the thing. There we go. George, I will just tell you quickly, and George is standing next to me. I like when it's the one shot above my stomach. That's a good thing. I will share you, North Carolina State has a great quarterback, probably the second best to Kenny Pickett in the ACC. UCLA, the last 3 games, scored over 40 points. You got a Chip Kelly team versus a North Carolina State team that likes to throw the ball. This is a definite over 59.5. It's not too oppressive. It's not like one of those 71s where you just feel like you got to take the under. Perfect situation. No defense. All offense.
All right, can I do one of those turns?
Please, George, make it look good.
Make it work. Make it work.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. Nice.
I just got pregnant saying that. I did. I got pregnant.
Hey, I don't care what the line is on
You're
the
about
Packers.
8 months due, I think, right now.
Packers-Browns matchup. I am picking Aaron Rodgers and the boys from Green Bay to win and to cover this afternoon.
I love that pick. That is the best pick in the world. George and I on the same page.
Great.
I love it.
Unoriginal though it may have been, that's my pick. Well, we're still far from done here on All Indiana Bets. When we come back, we'll take you over to Lock Miller's Pub, where you will learn how to make a hot toddy.
What's that?
On the Rocks is next.
On the Rocks is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
Hello friends, Brent Holberson here, Regional Sales Manager for Heaven Hill Brands. Coming to you today from downtown Indianapolis, the wonderful Lock Miller's Pub. Got a couple special guests here, the owner Danny Scotton of Lock Miller's. How are you, Danny?
Good, Brent, thank you.
And a special treat here, Mr. Bernie Lubbers, our Global Whiskey Ambassador. Bernie,
Hey,
thanks for
everybody.
coming down. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. You know what? I got a little frog in my throat. I can use a hot beverage.
Well, I tell you, I think we're into something here. We got Mr. Danny Scotton going to show us how to make a hot toddy this time of year.
Excellent timing, sir. Excellent timing here. Yeah, we're going to do a hot toddy today using Evan Williams honey, so we can call this the hot honey. There you go. And we're going to start off with 1.25 ounces of the bourbon. You know, Evan Williams, here in Indiana, 1 out of every 10 bottles that leaves a liquor store is a bottle of Evan Williams. How about that? So I know it's what you folks are drinking at home. We're going to add a tea bag. We're going to give a little squeeze of lemon. And we're topping it off with some hot water. Ooh. And that is exactly what you need for that throw, Bernie. There you go. The drink that keeps on making itself. Brett, there you go.
Dr. Scotton, I appreciate this. We'll pass this over to Bernie after this. Cheers. Doesn't get much better than that on a nice chilly day. Good luck on your bets today. We'll see you next time on the Rocks. Cheers.
And man, that Evan Williams honey mixes with so many things.
It is
I
so
got
good.
a little ginger here with the Evan Williams honey. So good.
Right.
All right, we've talked about honey. Now let's talk about money. These are the picks that we've got lined up today. I'm in on the Colts, the under. I think it's a beat-up Cardinals squad. Colts are going to run the ball. Clock's going to tick. Under is my play. Ball State in a bowl game against Georgia State. I'm a Ball State guy, but if we're trying to make money, Georgia State is the pick here. How about a little bowl action? Virginia, SMU, this is too many points. I get their good offenses, but sometimes even the bookies overreact. This is an overreaction. Under is the play. Couple things with this game. I love Green Bay in this spot. I got it at 7.5. I would take it up to 9. I think Green Bay is going to roll, and because of that, I like the Green Bay total points over 26.5 today. Those are my picks. Scott.
What a year we've had so far, right, Hammer? And
Great
what
year.
better way to make it special than on Christmas, bring in about, 8 out of 10, because we did that last Sunday.
We did.
4-1, both of us. Watch us tomorrow for the NFL. We are both on fire in that.
2 out of 3 prop bets right, too. We were rolling.
I'm 5-1 in the college basketball this year. We don't have that for today. Wisconsin, -6.5. I gave you the reasons. Big Ten, far superior conference to the Pac-12. Georgia State, Hammer gave you all the reasons you need to know. It's just a better talented team. They have way more speed, and I just feel like I just don't see Ball State bringing it. Mac has really struggled in these bowl games. So when I talk about Iowa State in this circumstance, on a neutral field, both Iowa State and Clemson have been big disappointments this year, but Iowa State's been in every game playing really good teams. Clemson didn't even make it to the championship game of the ACC. I love Iowa State there. Boston College is my best bet. I love Jerkovic, the quarterback. He's a top quality quarterback. I think he's an NFL backup, truthfully. Against East Carolina, give me Boston College all day. And finally, this is a game that will be really exciting and fun to watch. UCLA can score it under Chip Kelly. North Carolina State has one of the best quarterbacks in the in college football. Play the over. My guess, you're already cashing that check by about fourth quarter early.
All right, so those are our picks.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the producer's studio here. My man Peter's got his Christmas hat on.
Yeah.
I know you're a Ball State guy.
I'm not in the Christmas spirit right now, though, Hammer. You want to know why?
Why?
Those second picks on your guys' screens. What do those say?
Georgia State.
They say winner.
Hammer.
They say winner.
Hammer,
right here,
where
I
did
think.
where did you go to college?
A place where I paid a lot of money to go to, Ball State.
What are we doing? We're picking against our alma mater on Christmas here?
I'm winning back some of the money that I had to pay to go there, Peter. That's what I'm doing.
Listen,
Hey, Peter, I did a Zoom comedy show right before this in these studios, and the one pain in the butt person that I saw on the screen, I'm like, where are you from? He's like, oh, I grew up in Madison, but I went to school in Muncie. I'm like, so you're a functional alcoholic, right? And he didn't smile
I don't know
at
what
all.
you're talking about.
That's
Scott-
Ball State right there. I'm
Scott,
down on him.
I'll tell you this, you haven't made it as a comedian or an entertainer unless you've performed at the Chug. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
JOC, put my graphic on the screen. Is it on the screen? I can't see it.
Money line.
I don't need to say much. I don't need your stinking points. Last time the Cardinals were a big underdog in a bowl game. Ask San Jose State what happened. I'm gonna stand up and show you the sweater.
There it is.
I'm too short to see the sweater. I had to stand up. Hey, don't need your points. Give me the Cardinals to win outright today.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see.
Peter's got Ball State. We got Georgia State. We're going to talk a little Christmas.
Oh,
when we
yeah.
come back.
It's time.
Let's have a little fun. We'll talk a little Christmas right here on All Indiana Bets.
All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
And welcome back. We've made all of our picks and given you our analysis. Now it's time for the really hard questions. We're going to call this segment Handicapping Christmas. And my first question for you two is, if you were in charge of making odds on the best Christmas song of all time, what song is the favorite?
Okay, so let me start here. I'm going to compare this to the college football playoff. The number one seed in the college football playoff is Alabama. The number one seed in the Christmas song category has got to be Silent Night. It might not be your favorite song, but no other song encompasses everything there has to go with Christmas than that. I mean, it's literally a song about 6-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus laying in the manger, and if you don't like that, you don't like baby Jesus. I happen to like baby Jesus. I happen to like winners. So for that very reason, if I'm putting odds on this, it's got to be substantially high, right? This is like Alabama playing IUPUI in a football game. And IUPUI doesn't even have a football team. It's Silent Night, and it's not even close.
That is the weirdest thing you've ever said on this show.
You're
that
welcome.
says a lot.
Baby Jesus.
Okay. I don't even know where to go with that. I would just tell you that chestnuts roasting on an open fire. That voice of Nat King Cole is, yeah, it's so beautiful. It just makes you feel Christmas. It's pure smooth. It's a little velvety, like a George voice there.
It is. It's a very George voice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So don't always like all the lyrics in it, kind of like with what George talks. I don't agree with everything he says, but it sounds good coming out of that Evan Williams honey. George, what's your deal?
I'm going to pick the entire Charlie Bird Christmas album.
Okay,
the jazz
hold on.
guitarist.
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Bird.
Now, is Charlie Bird, is that Larry Bird's brother? I remember Eddie Bird.
Charlie
Remember
Bird, I
Eddie
think,
Bird?
spells his name the same way, but Charlie was the jazz guitarist who played along with Stan Getz on all of those samba albums. Great,
Okay.
and it's just acoustic. Him playing every Christmas song you know.
Okay,
with
that's
an
enough,
acoustic
George.
guitar.
I got to tell you right now, our
wrong.
audience likes
Wrong.
Motley
Wrong.
Crue and Trace Atkins.
The
So
the Scorpions Christmas song is highly underrated,
That is good.
by the way. Yeah.
Fun
All right,
fact, can
same
we go
thing.
back real quick? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you're going to bring up that horrible album to the conversation, I feel like I can cut you off. This is a true story. I'm not even making this up. It wasn't until 10 years ago where I didn't know that the lyrics weren't Jack Frost roasting on an open fire.
Okay.
I thought those were the lyrics to the Christmas song. Jack Frost roasting on an open fire.
I have no idea what you thought chestnuts were. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So let's move on to movies,
Yeah, let's
right?
do this. What are your movies? The
Hammer?
favorite.
Christmas Vacation is my number one seed.
That was obvious.
Because of the side characters.
Okay.
A great TV show and a great movie has great side characters. Seinfeld was successful because of George and Elaine and Kramer, and Christmas Vacation's the same way with the side characters.
See, I like the classic feel of a movie, and that's why I love A Christmas Story. It feels like kind of like somewhat of my childhood. I just love everything. There's a little edge to it because the director was the director of Porky's. Did you know that?
Love Porky.
Yeah, so that would be probably your third holiday.
Why do they
movie,
call her
Porky's.
Lassie?
So that would be mine. You got something else to share,
Well,
George?
the only thing I got is I've been accused of being a stiff, an old former anchorman. So I'm just going to go with It's a Wonderful Life and just stay true to my brand.
I thought you were going to go with Anchorman.
Old Man Potter. Old Man Potter is the hero of that
Merry
movie.
Christmas,
He's
everybody.
the only competent businessman in that town. Don't let anybody tell you
See you
otherwise.
tomorrow, Sunday at noon.